Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in here, Giant Sports Talk Entertainment. Someone mentioned that to me on the live stream. They reminded me of the Water Boy, that all of a sudden the Giants have that big win, and then we turn around and have a little bit of adversity, and a lot of the fans are sitting there going, oh no, we suck again. That, of course, is Rob Schneider from the Water Boy. Want to talk about Kayvon Thibodeau. Want to talk about Azeez Ojulari. Want to talk about who may replace Aaron Robinson. We want to talk about Kadarius Toney and how he's not upset and how he's not going to have these issues. We also want to talk about how the fact that Leonard Williams came out and said we're not believing in the hype, which is actually a smart thing to say. So we got to talk about. Of course, we have Aaron Robinson, who is going to be out following the not an emergency appendectomy, but the appendectomy. Also out is Wando Robinson, who head coach Brian Daboll said is day to day. But Nick McLeod, Wando Robinson, and Aaron Robinson, of course, did not participate in practice at all yesterday. Nick McLeod would probably be the backup to Aaron Robinson, but he, of course, has the hamstring issue. Those that were limited in practice are going to be Kayvon Thibodeau, Azeez Ojulari, John Feliciano, shocking, lower leg, and Jason Pinnock. I could wish forget. With his shoulder injury, and Dane Belton was actually a full participant, with that broken, I should rephrase that, fractured clavicle. It's one of those things that, we're going to need these guys. We're going to need Kayvon, Azeez Ojulari as soon as possible. With limited talent in the cupboard for the secondary in reference to the cornerback position, if we do not generate some type of pass rush, if we do not generate some type of pressure on Baker Mayfield, we could be in a little bit of issues in reference to secondary going up against Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. Those that do not respect the talent of Robbie Anderson, I've seen that a lot on YouTube for Giants and Twitter and Instagram and everything. That I've seen the thumbnails and stuff that people don't seem to respect Robbie Anderson. He is a speedster. He is a wide receiver that can break open a game. Love him or hate him, he's still a talent. So we kind of have to worry. We got to kind of just look at that for a little bit and see where we're going to go. Kadarius Toney came out and said he is not happy. He is happy with the Giants win and not disappointed in his lack of playing time. We've talked about this before, and we're not going to beat a dead horse with this. Brian Daboll came out and said, the guys that played on Sunday were the guys that the coaching staff trusted. And then of course, Kadarius Toney only played in 7 snaps. And then he kind of paused and said, and kind of backtracked a little and said, we also trust Kadarius Toney. Okay, that's not exactly what you said initially. And usually, I always say this, when someone says something initially, that's usually the truth. It's the moment they turn around and backtrack and say, and then we add this person as well. That's to me is very telling. That is a very interesting statement by this coaching staff, and it'll be different to see, how this plays out over the next 16 games. It'll be interesting to see that. And we kind of have to wait. We kind of have to just see how he takes this to heart and how he goes through there. Daniel Jones also said it's his job and to listen and respond to Brian Daboll's criticism. So that's telling me when he did get yelled at on the sideline, he was actually getting yelled at on the sideline. Because, everyone showed when our old buddy Coach Daboll, he has now entered the annals of Coach Daboll here at Online Big Blue. He didn't go, I don't want to say he went after, but he gave an earful to Daniel Jones about that bad interception. And it's made the rounds on YouTube. And I love it because the Giants tried to backtrack a little bit on it. And then it was kind of like, it was nothing. I was just telling him this. No, you again, you had it right the first time. You were dressing him down a little bit and letting him know you cannot make these mistakes. And I love it because everyone wants to talk about the big final drive and how well Daniel Jones played with that 1-yard touchdown reception. He was 3 for 3 for 11 yards. Okay, 3 for 3 for 11 yards. That means he was averaging like 3.6 yards a throw. Saquon Barkley carried the mail. Saquon Barkley brought the team down to the promised land. Saquon Barkley should have been given the rock 1 yard out, not Daniel Jones. Because you know what? I've said this before. I talked about William the Refrigerator Perry getting the call in the Super Bowl for that 1 yard touchdown plunge and not giving it to Walter Payton, who had been a bear for life and had been the consummate professional who never complained and never said anything. And you finally get him a chance to get him down the end zone and give him a touchdown. And what do? You give it to You give it to William Perry. That's the only thing that I'm going to say about that. Leonard Williams, I'm always sometimes people say I'm a little bit hard on.
King of the almost sack.
And what I also have to add to that, because I did say hard on.
That's what she said.
Is Leonard Williams. Because of the fact that we're paying him let me check his contract, is $4.2 bazillion to do nothing. He had one good season. We paid him for that, and we have now kind of pushed cap space into we did push cap space into 2023. It's going to hurt us a little bit. But he came out with the factor and says, just go back to the process. That's something we've been harping on ever since we've been in the building, ever since OTAs. That's something Dable and the players have bought into. It's not really the results. It's the process. And that's interesting because, like I said, he understands that this was one game, this was 1 week, and this is all part of the process, that the Giants aren't buying into this newfound hype that's all around the league because, honestly, you limit some of those holding penalties for the Titans. You eliminate a lot of the Titans' mistakes. You eliminate the rust that the Titans had on, and you had some breaks in reference to the Giants, which is nice because we haven't gotten those breaks in years. This is a whole different ball game. But it's interesting that Leonard Williams is coming out and saying these things. And I think I think we know as a team that although we got the win and we're happy and excited to start the season off fast, we won by 1 point. There's a lot of stuff that we have to clean up. There's a lot of things that we're going to have to do to continue to win. We're not going to buy into the hype and all that type of things. Leonard, man, you might be king of the almost quote. I might have to change if you actually play and get healthy. I'm not healthy, you're already healthy, but if you actually play well, I might have to change your sound effect because that is actually the best thing I think I've ever heard you say. That is the right thing to say. That is the thing that you need to say for a young team who was coming off one win, and it is one win, and it is one win by 1 point by the fact that the gentleman Bullock missed a 47-yard field goal. And he's 100% right. You can, and I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Like I said, I just harken back to Crash Davis.
It was great, huh? Your fastball's up, your curveball's hanging. I'm sure they would have ripped you.
Can't you even let me enjoy the moment?
The moment's over.
That's right. The moment is over. It is time to get back to work. And I have to give Brian Dable, I have to give the coaching staff, I have to give the organization as a whole in reference to the fact that they are all saying the right things. Now, the fan base has gone nuts. I've seen some stuff on Twitter that I'm like, people just need to figure it out. People just need to slow down. And I love it because some people are like, well, you just don't know football. No, I probably do know football because I understand I've seen bad teams start off 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. I've seen it happen. Seen it happen a lot. And I'm not saying the Giants are a bad team, but what I am saying is this, that it's one game. And when the venerable Leonard Williams and the entire coaching staff sits there and has been preaching that it's one game, I think the fan base should take stock and listen. They should take notice. They should understand that the players themselves aren't buying into this yet. I'm not saying buy. They seem to be buying into the Dable process. They seem to be. But the problem is they're not buying into the fact that they're going to go to the playoffs. They're not buying in the fact that they're going to win 10 games. I love the Leonard Williams quote. And I love the fact he says, just go back to the process. And the other quote was, I think we know as a team that although we got the win and we are happy, excited to start the season off fast, we won by 1 point. There's a lot of stuff we need to clean up. There's a lot of things that we have going on and have to do to continue to win. We are not going to buy into all the type of hypes and things. That's a great quote, Leonard. That's a great quote because, like I said, it shows their ground. It shows that the Giants right now are grounded in reality. That the coaching staff is not sitting there and telling them, you know what, we have to, you guys are the greatest things since sliced bread. You guys are doing this. No, they understand. You know what, we won the game. Let's be happy that we won the game, but it's a process, and let's continue that process, and let's continue to move on. Let's continue to move forward. Let's continue to get better, because sometimes when you buy into the hype, the problem is sometimes the hype disappears. What happens if you get a couple bad rolls against Carolina? Because there's a reason why the football is shaped the way it is. And one of my old coaches used to tell me this all the time. It's to make you look foolish. That's why that football is. He always used to tell me, that's why that football is shaped that way. It is to make you look foolish. And that's what we have to think, and that's what we have to remember. And like I said, Leonard Williams, of all people, coming out and saying this, man, I gotta give him official. I gotta give Leonard Williams official props today. I really do. And I got to give the coaching staff the props. I have to give everyone, a big kudos, an online big blue thumbs up, because they are all saying the right things and they're all doing the right things. And I think that as an organization is going to help us move forward to the right direction and do something special. We're going to have a preview show tonight. I'm doing it with OGR Sports. It'll be up on Friday, but it'll be on the podcast first. So if you're an online OG Big Blue member, which is a big $1.99 a month, you'll be able to get that show early. We're going to talk about the big win. We're going to talk about the Carolina Panthers. I won't do my prediction until Sunday. I will be in the parking lot on Sunday at Giants Stadium, broadcasting live with the venerable James Williams. It's his birthday. It's my birthday, and I'll rhyme if I want to. We might have a rap-off. I don't know. There might be a rap battle. Might be a freestyle rap battle. LL Cool J style versus Cool Mo D. You know who I am, because I'm as cool as ice. Ice, ice, baby. So make sure you join in. Make sure you find us in the parking lot. We'll be in the red lot. We'll be in the Verizon Center. Again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue. We'll bring you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could like, if you subscribe, if you can ring that bell, you the music, that'd be awesome.